Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Tech, Linux, and other, hacky, nerdy, open sourcey things. And today we're talking about Civic, a new app, and altcoin. It's actually considered a token. Sits on top of the Ethereum network, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Just let you guys know, if you don't know anything about like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it still applies to you. These things are very much important to you and your security on the internet, and Civic's trying to take identity and make it much more secure, much more strong. And this is why I'm so excited about this. And this is the reason why I bought Civic token, and it's been the first cryptocurrency I bought since 2015. Yeah, so to me it's a big deal. So I see this as the identity of the future. Identity of you for the future. It started by a guy named Vinny Lingham and Jonathan Smith. So Vinny is an entrepreneur who previously founded the digital gift card platform known as Gift, which he sold off to some company in 2014. He was very early in the Bitcoin space, and he was one of the first websites, his company, The Gift, was one of the first websites to allow people to buy gift cards with Bitcoin, which was a huge step for Bitcoin. After over a decade of experience in e-commerce, he realized that no one had a universal solution to tackle identity fraud for consumers. And Jonathan has more than 15 years of experience in banking and technology advisory. After a successful career in some of the most complex and security-sensitive environments, Jonathan brings his talents for security, leadership, innovation, and delivery to the world of digital identity. Those are two guys. So these two guys who started it, they had a lot of experience with this stuff, and that's also very good when you're starting off a new company for one, and being in the crypto space, when you're trying to sell tokens to raise money, you kind of have to have a good base to start off with. Civic's model allows for on-demand, secure, and lower-cost access to identity verification through the blockchain. Background and personal information verification checks may no longer need to be undertaken from the ground up every time a new institution or application requires one. Every time you go to a bank and you get a new credit card, or you go and get a new loan, or you go get a new car, they have to do the entire verification process every single time. And it costs them anywhere from $10 to $20 per person to do this on. It's a huge amount of money that it costs to get your information and make sure to verify that your information is correct. Civic's trying to change that. So not only is it safer for you, it's cheaper for everybody else, for the companies that need your information. Civic has already a working identity verification product, and you can get it now. Just go to your app store, if it's Android or iOS, type in Civic, and you'll find an app. Civic has won the Best New Startup Award at the No Identity Conference this year, 2017. Also, another big milestone is that Civic has reached its goal of selling $33 million in digital currency tokens. So that's how they raise their money. They're on the blockchain, so the Ethereum blockchain, if I understand it correctly. They have coins or tokens that are associated with it, and they started off with so many tokens, and they took 33% of their tokens, and they said, hey, here's 33% of my tokens. Of our tokens, we need to sell these off and go from there. I think they raised some money as well in the process, but most of their money that they have now, which they're using to further out their development, has come from this token sale. There wasn't an ICO, initial coin offering. They just said like, hey, people, you can buy our stuff now. Like, it wasn't like I think ICOs are a little different, but I think this was connected differently than a traditional ICO. But yeah, 33% of the coin was open for sale. You can go and buy some coin if you want. If you like investing in cryptocurrency or trading it, check out Civic. It has just the fact that it is an app and it's working now, and you can log in the sites with their app. It's amazing how far along they already are. I think that in my opinion, this is going to rival Ethereum, and its widespread use could make it rival Bitcoin. That's a big statement. Bitcoin is very expensive now, considered what it was, 2 years ago. So let's talk about Civic's ecosystem. Incentivizes. What did I write here? Civic's ecosystem incentivizes only trustworthy identity verification providers. For example, banks, utility companies, and other entities of the like. These entities will be able to verify the attributes of the identity of an individual or business and attest to those attributes on the blockchain. A blockchain. It's Ethereum's blockchain. Their token is based on Ethereum. It's the Ethereum blockchain. Through the use of smart contracts, validators will be able to price their identity verifications and offer them to other participants, resulting in a robust and decentralized identity verification ecosystem. Civic's new ecosystem will reduce the overall cost of the Know Your Customer, remove inefficiencies, enhance security and privacy, greatly improve user experience, and disrupt the current identity verification supply. So, what this is saying here, this is going to support itself. So you're going to have institutions such as banks and utility companies who already have information about you because they needed it in the first place. What they have now, if they get on the ecosystem of Civic, if they get on board with Civic, they now can they can now say, you have your information on your device, it's encrypted. And so you go to the company and say, hey, new bank, I want to open a new account. And they say, okay, we're on Civic, do you have the Civic app? And you say, yeah, and you fingerprint in or you put in your PIN code or whatever, and you show them, here's my stuff, and they can scan a little QR code and all that jazz. And they'll say, here's the information. And they can go to another company and say, hey, other company, other bank, is this legit? Which they already do in the Know Your Customer need of supply chains. The difference is now that it doesn't cost them as much. It costs them pennies on the dollar now. And the bank that provides the yes or no, saying, yeah, we had the same information here, it's all good to go. Banks that verify the information is good, saying like, yeah, we had it earlier, it's the same thing that we got from them earlier, all good to go. That bank that gives the information gets some token, gets some Civic token. And Civic token is going to have a relationship to Bitcoin and a relationship to the US dollar. So if they wanted to sell out or they wanted to get rid of all their Civic tokens, as soon as they got them, they could sell it for money and they'd make a profit on that. So let's talk about the Civic's token. So validators receive Civic tokens when other participants utilize their assertions to prove identities, their information. Users receive tokens, this is you, a user, for providing your data more securely and privately through the ecosystem. So as you use this app, you are going to receive these tokens, which are valuable. They already are worth money. All categories of the participants can utilize these tokens for identity-related products and services provided by Civic and third parties through the ecosystem. So something that Civic already provides is something called the Secure Identity Platform and the Identity Theft Protection. So right now, the Identity Theft Protection is going to cost you like $29 a year to have their protection. And it has like $1 million of like theft protection. Like it's really good. I kind of like it. I pay for it. Full disclosure, I bought that because I'm like, yeah, give me that. Screw Equifax, give me that. So in theory, as this app grows and I'm using the app and I earn tokens, I can use said tokens to pay for the security that I'm paying for in US dollars. So being closed system, it would almost feel as if it was free because I'm earning the tokens by using the platform. And so those are worth money, and I can just use those same tokens to pay for the service that I want through this application, or other third parties that use Civic. They're like, hey, I want this service, we use Civic, pay us a Civic token, and you can have the service. That's really cool. I think it's very useful going forward, especially as people adopt this. People and companies adopt this platform, and they already are adopting it. That's what's so crazy about it. You can already log into sites with their Civic app. When banks start getting on board, this is going to be huge. Absolutely huge. So let's talk about now what is called the Secure Identity Platform, or the SIP. Through their decentralized architecture with the blockchain and biometrics such as your fingerprint, or probably face unlock, or PIN code. They offer PIN code, which I prefer, and I kind of wish I could go to that and do PIN code instead, but that's beyond the point. I have personal reasons for biometrics, kind of creep me out. But anyway, this platform provides multi-factor authentication without a username, password, third-party authenticator, or a physical hardware token. This is awesome. This is what I've used it for already. I logged into WikiHow using my app. I didn't have to have a username, didn't have to have a password, didn't have to have a 2FA authentication. I 2FA all the things. Like, if you're currently not using 2FA, two-factor authentication, for your, I don't know, anything that's important to you that offers two-factor authentication, that's foolish and you need to use it. Maybe we can talk about that in a different segment if you guys want to know what this is about difficultly. But this is so much better than that. It's so awesome. Civic Secure Identity Platform, SIP, uses a verified identity for multi-factor authentication on the web and mobile apps without the need for usernames and passwords, as I just said. Keys are generated by the third-party wallet, providing a firewall between Civic and the user's keys. Identity data is fully encrypted in the app on the user's device can be accessible with biometrics. This is what you use, like saying, hey, log in with Civic. You unlock your device with your fingerprint, or probably facial recognition in the future, or PIN, and then you can say, yeah, I want to scan this thing, log me in. Pretty simple. And it is simple, I use it, it's awesome. Public identifier for the authenticating authority, hash identity data. We talked about hash in the last episode, what hashing is. And flag indicating the data is still valid. These are all things that happen within the app and whenever they give it to the website. New account creation can be simplified by providing verified identity, your identity data, within the Civic app. So, while the service may sound similar to the Facebook login and other things of the sort, Civic's secure private sign-up, which is what you use when you try to sign up for a website, you use Civic, and the private login, which is how you log in with the Civic app. These both offer privacy of data and greater trust in user identity. The secure private login provides a better user experience in multi-factor authentication without weak passwords, without password reset vulnerabilities, and without the hassle of the legacy of two-factor authentications. This is awesome. Like, when you're logging in with the Civic app, you don't need a password. You don't need one. So if you don't have a password, and they can't hack the company to get your password, and if you can't forget your password, there's not a password, so there's no reason for them to have a reset my password button because there's no passwords. And in two-factor authentication, wherein if you change your phone and you didn't back up your 2FA, you're not using one that backs up in the cloud, which is iffy nonetheless, then you lose all your 2FAs. Now you have trouble getting into your account again. This just goes against all of that. There's so many uses for this, and it already works. It's crazy. But anyway, after validation, the user is now considered a Civic member with authenticated identity, data secured in the Civic app and the user's device. It's not stored on Civic. None of your information is stored anywhere within the Civic company. It's on your device, encrypted. If you log into the app on the web, it's encrypted on your computer. It's encrypted there, and you can see it through the web browser. It decrypts it when you log in. This is very important, so no one can claim to be you without your cell phone or your computer. And even then, they have to either have your fingerprint to get into your phone, or know your PIN code, your passcode to get into your phone, or know your password to get into the web app. So it's much more secure than typical standard way we've done things. The web app is very interesting to me. I don't know enough about the web app and how it works, but I do have it, and I'm logged in right now. I can see it. But it's not on Civic. They don't have any information, and that's huge. So if they get hacked, they have nothing to give up. So, final segment here today is the identity theft protection option that is within Civic. And they have on their website, Civic is there to protect you before, during, and after an incident of identity theft. This is what currently you have to pay the $26 a year for, or the $2.90 a month, something like that. And I do pay for this. I was like, this is good enough already that I'm gonna pay them money for this. Also, I bought tokens too, so that helps them out as well. But this is identity theft monitoring through their services. And I'm reading some stuff off their website here, but it says, if you are worried about your identity being stolen without your knowledge, Civic is the identity theft monitoring service that allows you to keep an ear to the ground. The standard credit application process requires a credit check from a credit bureau. As part of our standard plan, you will get credit monitoring alerts provided through our integration with TransUnion. If one of these preliminary checks is required and looks suspicious, we will notify you. So they do have some level of this identity theft protection for free. The standard plan is free, and then there's there's a free plan and a standard plan, sorry. The free plan, it was kind of confusing when I was looking at it at first, because it looked like they offered some things, but maybe not the alerts. Because once I actually became a standard plan member for $50 annually, I have the alert sections now open, and it says, you have no alerts. And they're like, we'll let you know. It's like, okay, cool. So, there's that. On their website, they kind of break it down if you dig a little bit more into it. This is a 24/7 US-based fraud support. Whether you need help setting up your Civic membership or assistance after discovering potential fraud under your name, Civic offers this US-based support when you need it most. So if you're 2 in the morning and you're like, oh crap, got a notification, something broke, someone's trying to use my stuff. No, they're apparently there for you, so that's nice. I can't attest to this for sure if it's 24/7 because I haven't had to use it. Thank God. But that's what it says here. Something that's really cool. I found this interesting is that they offer $1 million identity theft insurance. $1 million. That's a lot of dollars. So if you become victim of this identity fraud of some type, Civic will spend up to $1 million to hire any lawyers, accountants, investigators, and so on and so forth to aid in the recovery of your identity. This product feature says here, on the website, it says this product feature will always be available to Civic members for free for life. I think this is the thing, if you're not paying for the standard plan, I think this is the thing that you get regardless for being a member, which is kind of crazy. They offer up to $1 million of coverage to help you get back to stable identity. On the site, I'm actually in the app online, and it has some things that aren't covered, which apparently it seems like very rare things. But yeah, so I think this is in all plans, but double check that to be sure, for sure. Here's a quote here from USA Today. Civic became the first company to turn identity theft protection into truly warning you before the identity truck hits you. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you need the app. You need to sign up for the service, even if you don't care about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Ethereum. This is important. You don't want to be caught in a situation where your identity is stolen, and whenever Equifax just leaked 100+ million American citizens' information that would allow someone to easily be you, you need this kind of protection, and all other services only let you know after it's already happened. With this, it'll say, hey, this has happened, there's a thing, like someone, you or somebody else is trying to use your information to do this. Was this you? You say yes or no. If you say no, it's nipped in the bud. It's nipped in the bud. As far as I can tell, that's how it's working. Like I said, I haven't had an instance yet, so I can't be sure, but all of my research points to that. Guys, get the Civic app. It's 100% amazing. Follow me on Twitter at JRSwab. I'm on Mastodon. I'm on wherever it is. Just find me. JRSwab everywhere. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.